Okay, I think we're live. Let's see. Sometimes I always test my mic for this to work. Okay, I think we're okay. We're good. We are good. All right, I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick. I'm gonna be right back. Alrighty, I am back. Sorry, just got myself a soda because I want to discuss about the tropical activity. But first, we're going to talk about Helene, or the major hurricane category 4, Helene, that hit the the Big Bend area in Florida, which caused unfortunate problems down there. I mean, it already did, which is unfortunate. So right now, this is our 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. If you're now just tuning in, we are now going to talk about, first we're going to talk about Helene. So here's Helene. Right now, this is already a post-tropical cyclone. It's already done for. It's not going to last that long out in land. It's making that Fujiwara effect with the current trough that's located in like Memphis and stuff like that, bringing cooler weather to the area. I was also affected by the mixture of Helene and the trough together when they were doing the Fujiwara effect. Definitely brought some gusty winds out there and some rain. Wasn't really concerning, so I did not chase this at all. If tropical storm force winds came to the St. Louis region, I would definitely went after it, but unfortunately, it wasn't that a big deal. Definitely, it did affect me, but the most hardest hit areas were definitely in the Big Bend area in Florida, which I saw pics of it and stuff like that. The damage is pretty catastrophic. Cedar Key is just destroyed. Horseshoe Beach, I think, got hit as well. Saw damage down there. And there was just so many problems down there, including like the Tampa Bay area, which had some really bad flooding and some crazy storm surge. I saw Siesta Key flooded by the storm, and that's where I vacationed at 3 months ago, fun fact. And that area just got flooded pretty bad down there. But it wasn't a bad surge, thankfully. I don't think it didn't reach like 10 to 15 feet of surge, which unfortunately it sucked for them. A lot of people lost their lives. There were 52 fatalities. So far, there's like 50 plus fatalities, which I wouldn't be surprised if the storm retires. This was a very damaging hurricane. This storm was just huge in general. Unfortunately, it caused so much destruction down in Florida. So yeah, and this was probably it is the biggest hurricane we've ever that hit the U.S. This year so far. Unfortunately, there were also other problems that occurred with this. A lot of rainfall dumped on like Georgia. Georgia was also experiencing some hurricane force winds, like category 2 winds in like Tifton, Valdosta. Macon was also getting hit by hurricane force winds. And Atlanta, probably a high-end tropical storm force winds. But it still caused its own problems either way. It dumped a huge amounts of rain in Atlanta, causing some flooding problems. and also the Appalachian Mountains, the Carolinas, in over here in Virginia. A lot of flooding occurred over there. There was like 30 plus flood warnings in that area, which is absolutely insane. And there was also like 8 to 10 flood emergencies, which really was probably the biggest flood event I've ever seen on radar and stuff like that. I would never experience, or I would never see like so many flood warnings in one area ever. And that's what Helene dumped. Helene dumped a total of like 30 plus inches of rain in the Appalachian Mountains, which, by the way, that is extremely rare. That's really rare. You don't see 30 inches all that often. You only see like 15, 20 inches of rain somewhere from a hurricane tropical storm, but 30 inches is incredibly, like, it's incredible to think about, but it's also so catastrophic in its own way. I mean, the fatality reports is super sad. Like, it really is. And I was thinking to myself, people are going to die. And unfortunately, dozens of people were killed. I think there's definitely hundreds of injuries right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see. But yeah. Jay, I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry. I don't understand you. Like I said before, I don't want to be mean or anything, but I don't understand. Anyways, all right. So this is Helene right now. It's, like I said, it's dead. If you're just tuning in, Helene is now dead. It's not going to cause any harm to the U.S. anymore. But there's also other storms and hurricanes and developments out there in the Atlantic and somewhere in the Gulf, which I'll be talking about here just later. But we're going to talk about Isaac and Joyce and this area of development that has a 60% chance. And I would not be surprised if it goes to a 80% chance of developing. I have a lot of concern for this to develop into like a depression. So let's look at Isaac. So here's the cone of uncertainty. It is already it's already a hurricane. Like it's like the most northern hurricane I've ever seen in my lifetime. It's going to weaken into a tropical storm or subtropical storm, right? Like when it goes like close to borderlines with I think this is France. Yeah, this is France. It's going to weaken over there, and it's going to not cause any problems. If it were to occur, I mean, there's nothing much to say about the storm. It's just not really it's not really that concerning in my opinion. I don't see anything happening with that. So Isaac is going to become one of those fish storms out there that doesn't cause any problems at all. Anyways, let's look at Joyce. So here's Tropical Storm Joyce. I think this is a pretty small storm out there. I think it's just going to once again become a fish storm. Nothing too concerning with this one as well. Definitely going to remain as a tropical storm. No hurricane that's going to be projected is not projected by this. Right now it's 50 miles per hour. So I'm not too concerned about this. There's also an area of development right here, which has a 60% chance of developing. And a lot of people are forecasters are actually have confidence that this could become a tropical storm or something like that. There is confidence with that. And like I said, wouldn't be surprised if it goes 80% through the 7 days. Definitely has a good chance for it to form. And then we also have another area. This is the most concerning area right here. You can see we have a chance of development is a 40%. It's not too high, but there is confidence that this could develop into something out here. So we're going to take a look at that here in just a second. So we have an area development for the next few days. Definitely something to keep an eye out on. So yeah, let's get out of this chart real quick. And we're getting into the GFS, so we're definitely going to look at that. Let's look at our current storms. Right now, they're talking about Hurricane Isaac, which looks like a mess. Like it really doesn't look. It doesn't even look like a hurricane. It just looks like clouds, which I think it's good news for whoever. If you know any fish out here, please let them know. It's definitely, they're gonna experience some winds, which is funny to think about. All right, let's look at Joyce. Here's Joyce, and wow, that's probably the most organized tropical storm I've ever seen. Looks even better than Isaac. Isaac looks like clouds right now, and yet Joyce looks so much better. But it's still going to remain as a tropical storm, so I'm not too concerned about that. Here's Helene. Helene is pretty much dead. This is the remnants of Helene. Definitely experiencing it right now in my hometown, but nothing too concerning. I think, yeah, this is okay, so these are all like Pacific storms and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about Joyce. Here's the project shows it just dying out. Helene, some models are indicating it's going to come back to a tropical storm, which I'm not buying. And there's Isaac. Isaac, I think, is a category 2. I think it's a category 2 right now, which is funny to think about. Jay said, United States here, there will be severe weather 20 hours. Well, we're going to talk about that. I checked the models before I went live and I don't see anything. Which I'll show you in just a second. There's nothing. I think this person's trolling. Because I'm not seeing like much really. So here, yeah, Isaac, Joyce, Helene, yeah. So yeah, definitely something to look out for. Anyways, I mean, there's nothing much happening, so, oops. So I'm not going to animate this or anything. I think here's the spaghetti models for Isaac. Right now, it's a category 2. Definitely going to weaken slightly. And most spaghetti models have been indicating it's going to weaken into a tropical storm. Some of them remain into a hurricane status. Some of them still do that, or are doing that, which which is pretty interesting. But anyways, so here is our GFS. This is the 12Z GFS. Right now it's still loading in because we're getting another update on this. So the 12Z GFS, this is the dying Helene or Trough or whatever, because I think they both combine into one, and Helene I think it's still Helene, and it probably won't make it out alive at this point. So yeah, so far nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy so far, and this is all it go. This is how far it goes right now. Actually, we're gonna go to the 6Z GFS because it has it loads a little better. So here's the 6Z GFS. Definitely a very quiet weather pattern for now. Right now, like the beginning of October looks pretty dang quiet. And look at that, we have our little development right there. Not as intense as Helene is, but definitely something to keep an eye out on. So this is October, 3 a.m. Right now we are far out, under 50 hours out per se. Models are not accurate. And we got this little storm right here. This doesn't even look, like I said, it's not as big as Helene, which is good news. This is a tiny, tiny storm. And a tiny storm means there's going to be less higher surges. There's going to be a less big wind field. Still a very interesting wind field though, but it's not as big and widespread, which is good. So as you can see, it's at a 986 millibar, a high-end tropical storm, I'd say, and then it just makes landfall as a tropical storm, not causing no harm whatsoever. And that's pretty much it. And what you notice right now is we're starting to see some snow from this like trough that's going to occur next week. So we could end up seeing snow in the beginning of October, which is pretty interesting. You got some heavy snow up here in Manitoba, Ontario, North Dakota. Definitely going to get some snow in October, which is probably a sign where we're definitely getting closer to winter, and we're probably going to see more snow occur up here and like in those areas. So definitely something. It's definitely going to be a very interesting weather pattern for a little bit. And then once again, a lot of things that are very uncertain, way far out. Things can easily change from here. Let's look at our 500 millibar height. So here's our 500 millibar height. Right now we got this spin right here, this spinning trough or Helene, whatever you call it, and it's going to slowly just go away from this jet stream. And right now it doesn't look as active right now, but besides what we're seeing right now is you got some zonal flow occurring up in the northern Midwest and into Canada. So zonal flow is pretty common for this time of year during autumn. We definitely see a lot of those occur during this time, and then once we get later on, you can see we got this storm right here, which is at 50 knots, which is it's probably a tropical storm. And then it kind of intensifies to like a higher end tropical storm and then just dies out completely. And then you got this trough over here on October 6th at night. Definitely looks more positively tilted. I'm not seeing a big concern with severe weather or anything like that. So, and once again, this is far out. I don't know if this is going to happen. And then we're probably back to zonal flow in the middle of October. So yeah, I don't see anything really concerning with this, or I'm not seeing any big time severe weather makers or anything like that. So if you're and someone said that there's going to be big time severe weather with big hair tornadoes, I'm not seeing that. I think we're going to have a long break with severe weather. But the tropical activity isn't going to die out. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on the tropics instead of severe weather, because we're not seeing much severe weather occur at all. But definitely models can change. It can easily change from here. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more zonal flow occur in the middle of October, because it's pretty, it's not pretty common. I mean, it's pretty common. I don't know what I'm saying. I just woke up. Anyways, let's look at the European model, see if they agree. I mean, it agrees a little bit here. Okay, I can't have access to 60. Okay, so here we go. Just this storm just dies out. We got this trough occurring on October 1st, around September, the last day of September, and then just dies out completely. And it agrees with the GFS here. We're seeing some zonal flow occur. Definitely not a concerning sign for anything to occur during this time. The European is just printing out like a zonal flow pattern, which is a good sign, because we do not want any severe weather makers to occur during this time of the year. If we see like a very negatively tilted trough with like 115 knots of wind and height above the ground, it's definitely going to be, and it's negatively tilted, definitely a severe weather maker, or a major one at bet. But we're not seeing anything like this. Definitely some zonal flow. Let's see. European, GFS, CFS. Yeah, the CFS does a poor job with hurricanes, but it's good with severe weather in a way. So here's the CFS. It's disagreeing with a lot of models. It's like showing trough after trough after trough. It doesn't show any zonal flow at all, which I am not buying. I don't agree with that. So let's look at our 12Z. I think this is the Canadian model. Yeah, it's the Canadian model because of the flag. Anyways, here's the Canadian model. Definitely, it's showing the same thing. I mean, it definitely shows some zonal flow occurring over here, or very organized zonal flow. No troughs, no nothing occurring with any of these storms, and it still shows some tropical activity down there, which it's what the European and GFS agreeing with. And then that's pretty much it. It goes through October 8th at 00Z. So yeah, this is going to be a very quiet pattern for the next couple of days until we get this tropical storm that would occur down here. And we'll definitely try to plan on making landfall somewhere in the panhandle of Florida instead of the Big Bend area. Yeah. Speaking of severe weather, let's talk about the severe weather pattern. So here's our day one outlook. Lots of some TSTMs around here. Not too concerned with that. Here's our day two severe weather outlook. Another TSTM risk over here in the East Coast. Nothing too concerning with that as well. And then here's our day three. Once again, TSTM risk in the East Coast. Once again, definitely nothing too concerning. 4 through 8. 4 through 8, pretty quiet severe weather patterns are pretty quiet area, probabilistics and stuff like that. I'm not seeing much occurring with this. 4 through 7's potential, day 8's predictability. So we're not seeing much occur with any of that. Here's our current warnings. We do have a crap ton of flood warnings over here due to Helene making landfall somewhere around the making landfall over here. Definitely a lot of concerns with that. And here's some red flag warnings as well. And excessive heat warnings. Arizona is receiving a good amount of heat up down there. So definitely 100-degree weather is possible there, it's rare. You don't see this like every day in Arizona. They're getting 100-degree weather during this time, late September. They usually get like 90s or maybe to low hundreds, but they're getting 110-degree weather in Arizona. It's going to be extremely hot over there. And we do have some heat advisories in the Miami area, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I actually forgot to talk about the tornadoes that occurred from Helene. Most of the tornadoes were weak, thankfully, but there was one EF3 that occurred in North Carolina, which I can't believe another one occurred there. I think there's 2 EF3s that occurred in that state alone this year, which is pretty insane. All right, so here's our temperature outlook. Everyone's going to be normal or not. A quarter of the U.S. is definitely going to be normal. If you live in like Florida or somewhere around here, you're definitely going to experience a little bit of a normal above temperatures. It's not going to feel like a normal fall for you guys. It's definitely going to be hot. In Arizona, look at Arizona, man. It's going to be freaking hot over there. Like 100-degree weather, 110-degree weather is likely in Arizona and New Mexico, Colorado. Yeah, so whoever lives in that area, they're going to be extremely, extremely warm over there. So definitely something interesting. And then here's our 8 to 14 outlook. We are finally seeing a below average temperatures, which is a good sign. We're talking about Appalachian Mountains, Virginia, New York, and the Northeast as well. Definitely a sigh of relief over here. Definitely, I feel like everyone's tired of the heat. They want cooler weather, which I would agree with. And then we got above average over here in Arizona, but not as intense as what these 610 attempts are looking at. Definitely looking a little bit better, but still going to be pretty warm and hot over there in Arizona and Utah and Nevada. So keep that in mind. And everyone else in the Midwest and the South are going to be extremely normal with these type of temperatures for the next 10 days. And here's our drought conditions. Definitely looking pretty more. It's looking more wet down there in the South. Gives me El Nino vibes in a way, but we're not in El Nino. We're in La Nina. Right now, La Nina we're in a weak La Nina. So Definitely going to be a little bit wetter down there, and it's going to be more drier over here in the mountain areas like Colorado. Colorado is going to be very dry. Definitely not going to receive anything to like not participation time, no snow, no rain, no nothing. So it's going to be very dry over there. Maine and New York and stuff like that are definitely going to be more wet up there as well. Here's our 8 to 14 outlook. More participation in Florida, it looks like, and including the deep south and stuff like that. Going to be dry, still continue to be dry in the mountain coast. However, the drought conditions are continuing to be, are looking a little better. Definitely the drought conditions are definitely weakening a little bit, which is good. So that's pretty much it. I gotta check the temperatures here. Let's look at the GFS. Or 06Z. We're still getting more data from the 12Z GFS, which is good. All right. Our temperature outlooks. If you're now just tuning in, welcome in. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Tune in. Tune into the channel if you want. It's just a brief discussion about the upcoming weather. We're not seeing anything too concerning, but we are definitely seeing some tropical activity, which I previously discussed about. Anyways, here's our temperature outlook. So here it is. We got 95 degrees in South Dakota for today at 3 p.m., which is absolutely hot. And then the temperatures just rise back up, man. Look at that, 98 degrees. And like, I don't know where that is. Is it Rapid City? I'm not sure. 99 degrees somewhere around like Bismarck. I think this is I don't know if that's Bismarck. I could be wrong about that, but whoever lives in that area, let me know. But anyways, 100 degrees over here in North Dakota. That is really ridiculously warm. That is super ridiculous. If whoever lives in North Dakota, and also 95 degrees in southern Manitoba, which is incredibly hot. I'm in shock that we're experiencing something like that up there. And now just the temperatures, everyone's going to be back to normal on the 30th, which is pretty interesting. And then cooler air is going to rush down from Canada, definitely going to cause some, like, it's not going to be too crazy hot, but yeah, if you live in like Arizona, let me go back. Like 104 degrees down there, 106, which is not common this time of year. 106 in Phoenix, 104 somewhere around the borderline. Man, it's going to be relatively hot down there. And in Texas, also experiencing the heat, 97 degrees near like Austin, which is really hot. And wow, the temperatures just don't die out in here, down right around here in like Southern California and Arizona. They just don't go away. This is pretty crazy. So yeah, and it's going to be 92 degrees in like southwest or northwest Kansas, 92. And it's October. It should be like 70, 80 degrees. I'd say around 70s is the best, but like that's pretty warm. 92 is like well above the average. And wow, it doesn't stop there. 94 degrees, 92. I'm also starting to feel the effects. 87, that's pretty warm. 92, this heat won't go away this heat won't die off anytime soon. It's still gonna have its last breath before we get into like middle or late October. That's when the heat just completely goes away. Got 95 degrees up in Iowa, which is pretty interesting. Look at this. All those temperatures. Wow, 99 degrees up there in like Sioux City, which we're not right now. This is 156 hours out, but this is pretty incredible to look at because this can print out an example that can happen. Look at Iowa's temperature. I'm looking up Iowa's temperature right now. I mean, so far, nothing too crazy for what it looks like, but I'm not buying that. I think they're going to get like 90-degree weather up there. But man, these temperatures just they're never going to go away. And you can see a very interesting dry line here but it's just rapidly just not looking impressive. And then once we get into like October 7th, that's when the temperatures really start to dip down. Got some like 30 degree weather, 29 degree weather up there in like Minnesota and stuff like that, which is it's a pretty good sigh of relief, and a lot of uncertainty still remains. So yeah, I think we're going to see or start to feel the fall temperatures in the future. Definitely in the middle of October, we're definitely going to feel it. Right now we are not. We are kind of experiencing some cooler weather right now. Well, I am experiencing the cooler weather because I'm dealing with this trough. But this heat is not going to go away until probably later, until October 9th or 10th. Definitely. So if you want a sigh of relief from the heat, it's not going to go away anytime soon if you live in the West Coast. So I'm sorry for you guys. I'm sorry. Please bear with us. Welcome in, and if you're just tuning in, definitely leave a like on the stream. Help spread the word or spread the algorithm. So yeah, you all are going to experience a lot of so the West Coast, the West is definitely going to be hot. Let's look at our rainfall total. See what that looks like. I think our rainfall is definitely going to be the most interesting to look at. Yeah, this trough is definitely going to dump rain, but it's not going to cause some flooding problems or anything like that. And that's here's our other storm that's going to develop. That's our other tropical storm. Yeah, you got like it does dump a lot of rain according to the GFS 06Z, but it's not going to be like Helene to where it causes catastrophic flooding. So I don't see like this being a major flood outbreak with that thing. But yeah, if you live like right around the West Coast, or the West area, you are not going to experience much rain at all. Ohio definitely is getting the rain now, which is good news. They needed that rain after a long drought period for them. So yeah, Ohio's getting a sigh of relief right now. And then it rains a little bit here in like the western area, but it's really not good enough. I mean, they probably need like 1 inch of rain or more, because right now they're going to be dry. Excuse me. So yeah, that's what it says. Let's look at the 12Z GFS now, since we're getting close to that. Well, probably next stream, I'm definitely gonna add some rules, because there's a lot of we're probably gonna make a rule to where it's an English speaking live stream only. We're probably going to do that. I feel bad for those who don't speak English at all, but it's definitely something I gotta like understand and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm sorry if you don't speak English at all. So I'm adding that as a rule. So yeah. Anyways, this is what the 12Z says. Still, I think it still shows the same. Yeah, it still shows the same trough. Still shows the same thing. No changes at all with the zonal flow. But oh my, wow. Okay. So the 12Z GFS is going aggressive with this. It's going a little bit more aggressive with this tropical storm or hurricane that's about to develop. And yeah, it's already starting to get its act together, because you can see like after Helene, the waters are a little cooler right now due to Helene making just sucking all that warm water up, and now this smaller storm is absorbing the rest of the warm waters over here in the west, and that's going to really intensify it. And then boom, just makes landfall just like that right around like Mobile and the Panhandle of Florida. If this still shows a sign of a problem, I'm probably going to go live for this. So definitely something to keep an eye out on. We got 82 knots, which is right around our Category 1 hurricane. Actually, let's see the trough. Let's see how strong this will get. So that's our storm right there. Doesn't show the trough. Doesn't show the trough yet. Okay, there it is. Here's our low pressure, 989. This is a tropical storm. And then, wow, it just intensifies into either a Category 1 hurricane or it's probably a Category 1 hurricane. And then, wow, it just intensifies pretty quickly. So this is like a high in Category 1 or around Category 2 status. Actually, I'd say this is mostly a Category 2 at most. And then just weakens a little bit and makes landfall as a small Category 2 hurricane, which it can cause problems, if I'm going to be honest. Category 2 hurricanes, we have seen Francine do that. It was a Category 2 hurricane. It caused some bit of surge, but judging by the size of the storm, I don't see a big concern for surge. I mean, if this were to happen, right now this is like 200 hours out, so things can easily change from here. So this storm definitely could bring some. It still will bring some surge, but it won't be as like high as like Helene. So definitely would be paying attention and watching this closely if you live in like Mobile, Panama City, Pensacola, Florida, and even Gulfport, Mississippi. Definitely keep an eye out on that as well. So it does show it making landfall right around here. I don't think it's going to make landfall in the Great Bend or Florida. I'm not buying that. If you're now just tuning in, welcome in. Leave a like on the stream if you can. It'll definitely spread the word for this upcoming tropical storm or hurricane that could cause some problems next week. I think the 12C GFS is really going aggressive with this. So here's our hurricane. So yeah, look at that. This is pretty interesting. So yeah, 956, 59, definitely a Category 2 status. Maybe it may become a major hurricane if models do uptrend this a little bit. There's a chance for this to happen once again, but I don't see that in my opinion yet. I don't see that happening yet. But definitely keep an eye out if you live in like Pensacola, Panama City, Mobile. So yeah, look at that. So this is moving west. So now it's moving east because I think there's a trough that's going to absorb this thing or take it away. And yeah, look at this. Got some 86 knots. 86 knots. I'm gonna look at the 700 millibar height. The 700 is really good. So this is what the GFS says. Yeah, look at that. Not a big storm, but still pretty concerning. Yeah, 100 knots. That's around Category 2 status, and then boom, makes landfall. Look at that, and it has a very organized eye too. A very organized eye. No dry air stopping this. Helene had some dry air. I don't think we're gonna see some dry air stopping this storm either. Doesn't look like it. And then makes landfall like right on top of Destin, Florida, I think. Or Pensacola, Florida. And then boom, it just completely dies out. It doesn't really cause any problems, but I would be paying attention. Right now, you can see it moving a little bit north and just dies out. And this is 200 plus hours out. Things can easily change from here and there. So Atlanta, Georgia, I probably would pay attention to this because this could impact you as well. Even Macon, Savannah, definitely would be watching out or keep an eye out on this. I don't prepare just yet. Don't prepare because we don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to scare the public or anything. This is just models being models. So don't let that fool you. So yeah, that's a very organized, that's the most smallest like organized hurricane I've ever seen. It's a pretty small storm, to be fair. So we're definitely going to talk about this if models do uptrend a little bit. We'll definitely go live again if this storm were to increase intensity or if something does occur with this. Yeah, but the European model, the European model doesn't show anything. Where is it? Where's the storm that's printing out? Well, don't rely on the European because it's kind of garbage. It kind of sucks. But anyways, I think that's pretty much it. Definitely would keep an eye out. We'll definitely talk about this in the next live stream. Probably soon. If we do see models uptrend a little bit. If I do see an uptrend in these models around like Monday, Tuesday, I'll definitely try my best to go live with this. I'll definitely keep an eye out. So I'll definitely go live for this on like right around September 30th or October 1st, depending on what happens once we're getting closer and closer to the day. Yeah, I got 9 people watching after I'm probably going to wrap this up. So yeah, we just discussed about this upcoming tropical storm, this upcoming storm that's going to occur in the Gulf. Do we know when we're going to see landfall at? We don't know yet, or how. Do we know what we're going to? Do we know how strong it's going to get? We don't know yet. A lot of these models are all over the place with this area development. There's a chance there's going to be a very high chance for this to develop because I mean, there's a good chance for this to develop. So yeah, we're definitely going to keep an eye out on the storm right now. So we'll definitely go live if things do easily change. We'll probably do it on like Wednesday the 2nd or right around October, probably the beginning of October we could go live, depending on what happens. So I think that's it for this stream. I don't have much to say. I'm sorry if you guys missed out. I just discussed about this on the weather that's going to occur in the future for the U.S. and stuff like that. So yeah, tropicals. Yeah, we're not done with hurricane season yet, guys. We're not done. We might get another storm that makes landfall somewhere in Florida. So yeah. If anyone has no questions, feel free. If you have any questions before I go, feel free to ask them. I'm probably going to be live for 5 more minutes before I wrap it up here. Also, make sure to leave a like. Definitely will help the algorithm out a little bit. And will help maybe spread the word, but I don't want to spread the word yet because this is too much uncertainty with this particular storm that might hit Florida or Alabama or wherever it's going to make landfall at. Could make landfall in like New Orleans for starters. So yeah, so definitely keeping an eye out on it. Pretty interesting storm, if you ask me. But yeah, this storm won't last that long if that's the case. Definitely going to die out immediately because of how tiny it is. For Helene, it lasted longer because it was huge, and some of its like bands were hitting the waters. Bigger hurricanes usually die slower than small ones. Small ones just die easily. Pretty interesting. That's a very interesting looking storm right here. It's like around category 2. Yeah, category 2. Don't underestimate category 2 hurricanes because they can cause their own problems. Category 2 hurricanes can really be a big issue. But the only thing that you would need to prepare for a category 2 hurricane is to get prepared. Board up your crap. Just board up your windows, board up your doors. If you also live near the coast, get away from the coast. Get away from it because you're going to experience storm surge and stuff like that. So yeah, I would stay away from the coast. If you're in a category 2 hurricane or even a category 1 hurricane, stay away from the coast. But Evacuating during a category 1 or 2 is, I mean, as long as it's not a big storm. Like if it's like a big category 1 or 2, then I would plan on evacuating because of how big the storm surge would be. But this storm looks kind of tiny, so I'm not. It's like a small hurricane or something like that, but I wouldn't be concerned with the storm surge. But I would stay away from the coast. I don't think anyone has questions right now. Which I think it's a good thing because right now if this is far out, I don't know if this is going to happen. I'd rather have questions before, like, once we get closer to the day, like I'd say around 6 to 7 days out. I definitely would like to hear some questions about that storm. If you're just tuning in, feel free to ask questions before I wrap the stream up with this particular storm. If not, if you don't have any questions, I'm probably gonna head out, and I'll probably be back in the next. Oh my God, we already getting 12 tuning in. No, every time I say I'm gonna wrap this up, there's people joining in. No. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I wouldn't mind going live a little longer, but if nobody has questions for the next, like, you know what, I'm gonna end the stream at 11:45. If nobody has questions or nobody says anything at 11:45, then I'm just gonna end the stream here because nobody's prepared for this. Nobody's watching the news or anything with this because this is so far out. So. Nobody should be concerned about this yet. Just go on with your day. Definitely, the Great Bend's definitely going to feel it a little bit though, but they're. Is that the GFS or the year? Oh, okay. Is that the GFS or the euro you're showing? This is the GFS. Wait, why am I using the 00Z? Oh wait, I made a mistake. Sorry. So here's the 12Z. Yeah, this is the 12Z. So this is what it looks like. This is what this storm looks like next week. Definitely going to make, it does show it making landfall somewhere around like October 6th, around Sunday, at around 3 p.m. or something like that. But the timing, where it's going to make landfall at and how strong it is super uncertain. So we do not know what's going to happen. But the reason why it's like right around here is because, see how it's like moving west? There's like warm water over here, but from Helene, everything's cooler over there, so it's going to strengthen a lot from those waters over there. And then once it turns east, it's going to make landfall somewhere around here. I don't know where it's going to make landfall at, but it's possible that it could make landfall somewhere in Florida, somewhere in like Alabama. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Yeah, in the European, I did show it earlier, but it showed basically nothing. Like, let's look at it again. I can't look at that, but let's look at the European. Yeah, look at that. Nothing. There's legit nothing happening, which I hope to goodness that nothing happens, because we do not want more lives to be changed at all with this particular storm that can occur. But the European model, it's kind of bad with hurricanes. So, yeah. Yes, we are trying to stay informed. Where's Helene now? I'm gonna show you real quick. I'm gonna show you where Helene's at. I have tropical tibbets on, by the way. I'll go on it just in case. So here's Helene. It's not going to cause any more problems. It's going to cause, it's dead. Not going to really, we're done talking about it. It's gone. It's going to die out today. The name's going to get removed here in just a second. So it's not going to cause anything too harmful anymore. I'm feeling Helene, but it's just not too crazy of a storm. So yeah, Helene is done for, but the damage it did and the flooding it did in like the Carolinas, Georgia, it was absolutely catastrophic. And I'm so glad I alerted like some people with this. I'm so glad I alerted some people because I knew this was going to happen. I'm on the Alabama coast. Hope we get some rain, but not a major impact. Do you live near like Gulf Shores by any chance? Because I know where that is too. Because I've been to Gulf Shores before. I think it was last year. Or Mobile. It's around that area somewhere. It's somewhere around that area. Gulf Shores is really beautiful out. It's really beautiful. Now let's look at the oh yeah, I need to look at the participation for this upcoming storm that could occur with this. All right. So here's our. So yeah, this is heavy participation. So yeah, you guys are going to get the rain, probably the bands from this storm if this were to occur. So you guys are definitely going to get the bands over here with the rain, but depending on where it makes landfall at, it could depend where it goes. Like right now it shows it making landfall near Destin, Florida or something like that, or Pensacola as a category 2, and then just dies out completely. It also will bring in some rain. It dumps more rain over here in the like Carolinas, Georgia. It's going to dump the rain in the same areas where Helene hit. But right now we are like 186 hours out, and we do not know if this is going to be the case at all. So definitely, yeah, you guys are going to get rain if this were the case. I'm in Daphne and Bowen County on the eastern side of Mobile, Alabama. Oh, wait, I know where that is. I think I've been there before. So yeah, if you were to get hit by this, I think like if this is the case, I think the surge will definitely not be a problem for you. But if anyone lives in like Panama City or Destin or something like that, right around here, this is where the worst of the surge is going to be if that's the case. Hopefully the models are not correct with this storm. I hope it stays as like a low-end tropical storm where it just brings some rain and some winds and stuff like that. But I mean, GFS is printing out something pretty aggressive with like a 960 millibar hurricane. I forgot. Let's look at our total rainfall here. Definitely going to look at the flooding again. So here is the beginning of October. So let's see here. The only thing I would be concerned about here. So this is around like 6 a.m. on Saturday. I mean, I'm not sure if this is going to be the case, right? Like I said, models are models. Things can easily change. Welcome in, everyone. If you're now just tuning in, I was legit about to end the live stream because there was no questions asked from me, but now we're starting to get people. It's so weird to say. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Definitely going to keep you guys updated for this future storm that might occur with this. So I'll answer your questions and see what's going to happen. All right. Anyways, continuing your question. So I would be a little concerned about the rain. It could cause some flooding problems. Right around like here, I'd say is you might live right around here, but I would be concerned about the flooding right now. But right now, just worry about what's going on right today without any severe or without any tropical storm or anything, and I'll let you know by the next live stream if you want to tune in. So I'll definitely keep you updated with that. Thank you for staying on top of this. Yeah, no problem. I'm always here to help lives. That's what I want to do. I want to help people. I want to help people get prepared and not have any more people dying because, yeah, from Helene, over 50 people have died, and it's going to become retired, which is not good. So right now the GFS does print out the storm to cause, wow, 9 inches of rain. Doesn't look as intense as Helene's, but definitely would be watching out for flooding if this were to be the case. Even Atlanta is going to get hit by some flooding and stuff like that. Same areas are going to get affected. They're getting more rain if this storm does move like towards the Carolinas, which is unfortunate. They're not getting a break from rain anytime soon. It looks like, by the looks of it. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel and tune in because that's when you get updated the most. That's when you get notified in case I do go live again and see if the storm really does get worse or if models have been increasing with this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Does anyone else have any other questions? If not, I'll probably wrap this up. I'll probably be in 5 more minutes before, if nobody has any questions, I'll wrap this up. Because feel free to ask questions. I'll happily answer them. Oh yeah, I don't like the 500 millibar height. Yep. So if you're like live in like Mobile or Pensacola, Florida, Destin, don't worry about this. This is just a projected like storm that may occur with this, but I wouldn't worry too much right now because this is like 200 hours out. But I'll let you know if you guys really need to prepare for this. I'll let you guys know. I'll end the stream at 11:55 if nobody has any questions. Excuse me. So yeah, next live stream, I do plan on adding rules. There will be there's going to be rules in next live stream. Definitely, I don't know if I might forget about it, honestly. I don't think I'm going to add rules in the next stream, but if I do forget, it's, oh well. So yeah, if I do see something happen in the next like couple days, I'm going to go live again. Probably, like I said, around 30th of September or the 1st of October, depending on what the models say. Got 80, yeah. The bad thing is the Euro has been going over to the GFS, at least it did with Helene. Yeah, the European model, I don't trust it that much when it comes to tropical activity because it just doesn't print out like really good stuff with hurricanes and such. Like European printed out a tropical storm or low-end hurricane that would hit the Great Bend area, but then other models printed out like a category 4 or 5 storm, and they were kind of right about that. So yeah, I don't trust the European. I highly doubt nothing's gonna happen. Like there's a chance of development in like in the same area, so this could end up being a concern in the future, but I'm not worried about it just yet. If models continue to trend this still like this, for example, like 12Z GFS says, like if this prints out something like this still, or it gets worse, I will definitely let you guys know about that in the next stream. Or I can let you all know if it's going to weaken or if the models show it weakening a little bit. And the problem is there is going to be zonal flow, and this storm is going to have enough time to intensify, which could end up being the worst case scenario for this as well. So yeah, this is going to lead to some problems if this occurs in the next like 8 to 9 days. We're not going to look at the, here's tropical tidbits. I was looking at this earlier, and I don't know. I don't think it can like detect it cannot detect like any like development at all. So I'm curious to know what they're going to print out with the spaghetti models and everything. I want to know if what they're going to say about this future storm. Because if this prints out like a category 3, and then that's going to be concerning. But the good news with this storm is that it's not going to be as big as Helene. This is going to be smaller, and the smaller the storm is, the less higher the surge is, but it still will cause storm surge. But it won't be as bad as Helene's. Helene's was much, much worse because of how big it was. But storm surge is the deadliest part about from a hurricane. It is super deadly. There were a lot of fatalities from Helene's surge. There were a crap ton of them. And also flying debris too. Flying debris can also get you killed in a situation like that. And also the timing is very uncertain too, so I don't know if this is going to make landfall. Like it does show it making landfall on Sunday, which is actually like I could end up chasing this if this were the case. I could end up chasing this hurricane for the first time. I live in it would be like a 12-hour drive for me, like half a day. It would take me half a day just to get down to Florida, like Pensacola, Florida, or Destin, Florida. Actually, I'm gonna look this up. If this hurricane were to make landfall around Sunday. Oh, it's a 10-hour drive. So, yeah, this is around a 10 to 11 hour drive. So it's like basically almost half a day if I end up chasing this. So far, no luck with chasing the hurricanes so far. I was going to chase Helene, but it turns out it was going to happen on Thursday, which sucked. This can end up happening on like a weekday too, like Monday or Friday. Friday, I have work that day, unfortunately. So I'm going to keep an eye out on this storm in case we do need to actually chase this. This could be my first hurricane chase if this occurs. Man, I would love to chase hurricanes. I just want to chase one this year. That's it. If nobody has any other questions, I'm probably going to wrap the stream up. We've been streaming for like an hour. So I'm definitely going to wrap this up if nobody has any questions. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this stream. If you want to, if you want to like continue, if you want to stay updated, make sure to leave a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is more important because that's when you're notified, and you'll see me update on this storm in particular. Definitely would subscribe to the channel, which would help me out, and it would help you out a lot, because I will be talking about updates on this storm, and you will be prepared for this. So I'm definitely gonna keep an eye out on this storm. If you also want to tune into other weather YouTubers, you can. They'll also update this storm. In Florida, somewhere in like, it depends on what they upload. For me, if there's like quiet weather, I will not go live for the next like 7 days or so. But seeing activity like this, I'm probably going to go live in the next 2 to 3 days. If nobody has any questions, then farewell to everyone. Gonna wrap it up in 2 minutes. Got 11 people watching. If anyone else has no questions, I'm gonna end the stream. Because I already discussed about everything, like the severe weather and the snow, the everything. I discussed about almost everything. You can take your time answering or asking a question. I'm not going to force you. All right. Man, I gotta do some stuff today. I have work. Yeah, the one rule I'm adding is we're only gonna, I hate to say this, but the one rule we're adding is English speaking stream only. I'm sorry, but like I don't understand Spanish, so we'll definitely add rules about that. There also will be rules about no swearing or anything like that. Once I don't know how many subs you have to get for Nightbot, but I'm gonna look it up because I want to get Nightbot and see what it's gonna do. All right, I guess no one has questions. I feel like some people are typing about him, and I kind of feel bad. I don't know if anyone else has any questions. If nobody has questions, I'm just gonna head out. So appreciate you all tuning in. Really do. I'll probably see you all in the next stream. I'll be on September 30th or October 1st. That's when I go live next. So yeah, peace out, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe.